Hello to all of you in your homes, whether you're here in Florida or up at your northern homes. Greetings here in this month of May, and today for our midweek chat, I'd like to address three areas. First, a lot of you are wondering, when are we going to be able to worship together in person in church? And then second, I'd like to give a word of encouragement to us as we continue to face this unprecedented time of being distant from one another. And finally, I'd like to say a word about tomorrow's National Day of Prayer. Well, first, a lot of you are wondering, when will we be able to come to church again? Well, the state of Florida is now beginning to reopen at a guarded pace, and we're now in what's called phase one of what government leaders and public health officials are describing as a three-phase plan before we can resume life as normal. So we're just in phase one now. And the governor's new executive order continues to urge senior citizens to remain in their homes for safety. And it discourages any public gatherings of more than 10 people where strict social distancing cannot be guaranteed. So as much as we would like to be together for worship and church activities, we're going to continue respecting the guidance of our government and public health officials for the safety and well-being of everyone. Our session and our staff, led by our Executive Director, Chris O'Brien, are looking at all the details that will need to be in place whenever that comes after these three phases and we're finally able to worship together and reopen the church. So we're thinking about all of those details, but for the foreseeable future, we will continue our Sunday worship in the virtual format we've been offering since March. I just want to remind you, nothing is preventing us from continuing to proclaim the good news of the gospel. And we thank God that we actually have more people watching our services online than we would normally have here in the sanctuary at this time of year. We're grateful that we have the technology that allows us to worship God online, and we continue to do all we can to make sure that members of our church community who let us know that they don't have the internet, we're sending them DVDs and audio recordings of our worship services so they don't feel left out. Nothing, even the coronavirus itself, is keeping us from being the church. And even if church looks very different right now, we are being the church wherever we are. So keep hanging in there. And that leads me to the second point of just wanting to encourage us as we continue to live through this difficult time. And any novelty that we might have felt 2 months ago about this is certainly wearing off. And we're getting tired of waiting. We're getting tired of not seeing people we love. I'd encourage us just to continue to draw close to God and to continue to find ways to reach out to one another. That's a great way of just making sure we don't feel alone. Pick up the phone and call people. Continue doing that. Don't wait for folks to call you. Just reach out and touch someone with the love of Christ. And if you are feeling particularly lonely, don't feel bad. It's normal. This is what a lot of people are feeling now during this time. If you're alone and you just need a friend to talk to, know that our Stephen ministry is here. Even if it's just for a short-term friendship of someone that you can talk to, our Stephen ministers stand ready to come beside you. So if you'd be interested in having a Stephen minister, even for just however long this pandemic continues, or for any situation in your life, please contact me or one of the pastors or one of the Stephen ministry leaders whose names and numbers are on our church website. We'd be happy to help and get you connected so that no one feels alone during this time. And finally, today I want to encourage you to look forward to tomorrow. It's a very special day in our nation. It's the National Day of Prayer, the first Thursday in May. And here at Venice Presbyterian Church, we've always done special things for the National Day of Prayer in recent years. It'll look different this year, obviously, with our church buildings closed. But we've prepared a National Day of Prayer observance, which is a video that will be posted early tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. You can see it on YouTube, on Facebook, on our church webpage, and you can watch it either at 7 a.m. or any time during the day tomorrow. And I'd encourage you to set aside some time and to set aside a special place too to watch this, because what this is it's an opportunity for you to join with us, the pastors, in praying for different facets of our national life together. It's about a 49-minute video, features some music from Jamal, and again, prayers led by each of our pastors. And so you'll want to take some time, set aside that special place to pray with us tomorrow. Also, you're invited to join us at noon for our weekly Zoom prayer meeting, and the information of how you can join that is right directly on our website. You can just click from there and join us at 12 noon tomorrow through the VPC website, VenicePres.org. We'd love to have you join us, especially for tomorrow, for the National Day of Prayer at 12 noon. And whatever way you can tomorrow, see it as a day to connect with God. Look forward to spending that time with the Lord in prayer. And may it bless your soul deeply as you know that Christ is near. Remember those words that we have been saying all year. Do not be anxious about anything, but how in prayer. With prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of Christ that transcends understanding will guard your hearts and minds in Jesus Christ our Lord.